Come with us to a camp where you can go to sleep in a tent listening to the eerie cries of the bush, and we'll tell you what it takes to get there. Tamboti Tent Camp. Tamboti was the first camp we stayed at in the vast Kruger National Park. We chose Kruger because of that very vastness and its high density of animals. We were also excited about self-driving in our own rented vehicles. And to be honest, a little afraid. Finally, we could stay at Kruger for over a month for the same price of staying 12 days at an East African park. Here's a crude diagram of Kruger Park and its neighboring game reserves. On May 1st, we flew from Johannesburg into the tiny town of Hoedspruit. The Hoedspruit area is beautiful and has many attractions. Cultural tours, Glide Canyon boat cruise, and the nearby Panorama Route, to name a few. We'll show you this area in another video. There are 10 entrance gates into the Kruger National Park. Gates through an enormous electric fence that surrounds the park and private game reserves on its western border. There is no fence between the park and these game reserves, and they're hoping to remove completely the fence between Kruger and the Mozambique Park. The closest gate to Hoedspruit is Orpen Gate, so on May 5th we took the R40 south to the R531 west and headed there. But weirdly, there's not just one gate on this route. Part of our drive went down the border between Tamboti and Manolete private game reserves, so we needed to enter the gate where the two reserves first meet. Once through, you're basically in these reserves, and you can already run into wildlife. After this, about 10 kilometers further, you come to the reception building. Here's where you need to fill out your registration and indemnity form and pick up your entry permit. This permit must be presented at each rest camp you stay at and at the park gate you leave from. You can also pay your conservation fees here. We had bought wildcards though from the park's website. These wildcards are good for unlimited days in the Kruger and other parks for an entire year. Nearby the reception is the official entrance gate. But once you've entered this, you still aren't technically in the park yet. You need to drive a short distance to Orpen Rest Camp, enter its gate, drive out its other gate, and now you've arrived. We had an hour or two before we could check into camp, so we decided to drive down the H7 to the Babajan Kranz lookout and see what we could see. should definitely let this guy go first.
Alright, we're at the lookout point where you can get out of your car. It's got all the emergency information in case you gotta probably see a leopard or something in a tree here. There are a bunch of, these are not water, but what are these things?
These are water buffalo.
Oh, they're water buffalo, but
African
not, what's the other ones? The
wildebeest.
wildebeest. Okay, so water buffalo. We've seen water buffalo, wildebeest, impala, was it kudu? Zebra, giraffe, and elephants today. First day in the park. We're leaving tomorrow after we see the lion and leopard. Like that bird's begging from you. That's funny. Herd is on the move. Yep, they're all headed out.
It's tough with the elephants too, but I know it's casual.
Now all of a sudden they stopped. These things are big.
Now we'll head back to Tamboti. First we'll stop at Orpin. It's a small, peaceful rest camp that accommodates about 42 people, but it has a store, a filling station, washers and dryers, and even this coffee shop behind the store. You have to register here at Orpin for Tamboti, because there is no reception at Tamboti Camp, or shop, or laundry, only communal ablutions and communal kitchens, but these are all very clean. Oh yes, and of course tents. Since Tamboti is the satellite camp of Orpin, it's not far away. In the camp, there are 40 tents along the Tamboti seasonal river, 30 regular tents on wooden platforms with a deck and refrigerator, and 10 tents that also have a shower, sink, and toilet inside, and an outdoor kitchen with electric hot plates. And here we are. This is Tamboti Tent Camp number 38. Home sweet home, but only for one night, unfortunately. There are no gardens here. It seems like land was just cleared enough for tents and outbuildings, and an electric fence thrown around it. And the bush keeps creeping back. At night, this place can be scary, and the animal sounds carry very well through the tent walls. Be sure to use a good flashlight if you walk outside at night. There may be poisonous snakes or centipedes, but we had no trouble. We had a parade of baboons all afternoon. The view from your deck is great for watching animals down in the Tamboti River. But there are also animals in your camp, like honey badgers or gannets, the baboons and monkeys, not to mention the birds. This is our accommodation at Tamboti Tent Camp. We just arrived. It's our first day and we saw enough animals for a week. Say hello, Daniel.
Hello, Daniel. We are on the water's edge.
If there was water.
Yes, the Santa Clara River version of water.
We saw a lot of baboons and they warned us about them, and so far they've left us alone. Here's our wonderful shower and water closet. And that's the entire tour.
Baby's getting a snack.
For dinner we had our beans and canned fruit cocktail. This was not the last time we had this meal. Then it was time to hit the hay so we could get an early start the next day. So we slowly fell asleep, listening to the night sounds, thankful that we didn't have to leave the tent to use the toilet. And it was good we had extra blankets in the tent because it was pretty cold that night.
Yeah, the sunrise is a fast sunrise. Wow. That is fast. It takes like 7 minutes where we are for the sun to move one diameter, and here it's seconds. That's crazy.
It's like time lapse.
Yeah. Right as you said it.
It's already like a quarter to the sun up.
That's crazy how fast it is.
glasses and we can see exactly how much it's. Sort of got where I don't want to look at it.
Yeah, it's been 1 minute, so it's like less than 2 minutes before we should.
After that great sighting, it was time to head down the S-36, that rough and tumble dirt road that leads south towards more wonders, I'm sure.